then there's also therapy too.
Okay, wait. So, is it all good though? As far as your day? I feel like it's been a mess. I can't even talk.
I know. It's funny. Yeah, I was in bed throwing up all day yesterday.
No, what? We don't have to put this in the podcast if you don't want to.
No,
but
let's
I feel
not,
like it's cute.
because nobody wants to start that way. But
honestly, I feel like I don't care though. Maybe we'll leave it in. I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, go ahead.
it's up to you. But we're pretty sure it was food poisoning.
Where do you think it's from?
Because I wrote a place we ate when we were down in Phoenix on Saturday. But Ivan had like a slight stomach ache, but we didn't eat the same thing. But I was getting ready to go to church, like I couldn't even stand in the shower, and it was bad.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry that happened to you.
Yeah, it's okay, but
he didn't get it, or he didn't have any.
But he ate pork and I had chicken.
Oh,
so I'm wondering if the chicken wasn't cooked or something.
I always wonder this, because I've heard from people that have had food poisoning and then they call the restaurant and just say, hey, FYI, I got sick from your place. So I don't know if something was going on, but you should probably maybe check, So,
I know. I almost wonder. Yeah. I was we were I had no idea. I was well, could it be the flu? Cause I had really bad chills and was getting really hot, but I was also freezing at the same time.
Oh, so maybe it was another kind of sickness.
But
or a mixture of both. Who knows?
Yeah. But then this morning, I woke up and I was still not great. My stomach still felt weird, but it wasn't nearly as bad.
Oh my God.
But literally since yesterday morning, I've only drank Gatorade and water, and I had soup broth for lunch.
Okay.
And so now I'm starting to get very hungry.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. But do you feel better today?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I feel better today.
Okay, good. Oh, my God. That sucks. Yeah, I feel like this week has started off already just, wild.
Has your Monday been crazy?
Yeah, I mean, well, our receptionist called in today, so I was answering phones, which is totally fine. She was sick, so I get it. And again, maybe everybody's getting sick. I don't know. And it's just makes me so tired. I have to go back and forth between, doing my job and answering the phones. And by back and forth, I mean, I didn't have to go up front, but I have to stop and start and stop and start. And it just makes me so tired. And then I had this audition, and shout out to, my friend Mallory, who helped me with it, because she also does videos and things like that. She has a company called Huckleberry Co., just FYI. But it's she really helped me, because I had to do 4 different videos, and it's all due by 9 a.m. tomorrow. And so I was scrambling and super stressed out today, because I was when am I ever gonna have time to do this? And oh my gosh, the videos were so silly, and I was really stressed, because I was this is so dumb. I don't know why, and I had to be running, so and usually I'm just if I have to have another person, I'll just do a FaceTime, or if someone can't be here in person to read the lines with me or something, or I'll have my mom, even if all else fails, I'll have her read lines with me. And so, but this one, someone physically had to tape me running, because I can't do that, obviously. And so I was
impressive.
oh my God. Yeah. So I was oh my God. But anyway, so I uploaded all that finally, and I haven't really had time to stop. I had to come home, change, do my slates, and then head over to Mal's house, and then I'd come back, and but it actually ended up really fun. She made it really fun, and she's since she does videography stuff, she was really able to help me direct and find the best shots, and it actually looked kind of cinematic in some shots, which was so cool. So it was actually a nice blessing. So
that's awesome. I'm glad she was able to help you.
Me too. And I'm glad that you're feeling better, and I'm sorry that you were sick. That really sucks.
Oh no, yeah, I almost texted you yesterday, and I was I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this today. But then when we were brainstorming and we were I think it's food poisoning, I was I've heard that lasts only 24 hours, so I'm gonna wait.
Okay. So. Yeah. Good call.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wouldn't have been the worst thing, but if I'm glad that we're here now.
Me
so
too.
we had our little therapy moment at the beginning, and I'm
there
fine
you
with
go.
All right. Well, there is a lot going on in summer catalogs, so I hope that we don't last for 800 hours. But look, fair warning and full disclosure. Number one, it might be a long time. And number two, I have my door open where the cats could come in. So if you hear them or see them, you personally, Maddie, then that's why. Because I had my door closed for like I haven't really been with my cats for like 12 hours because work and auditioning. And I have to close, even though I'm here, I have to close the door so they don't come into the shot and all that stuff. So I'm just letting them be. So if it happens, just telling you now.
It's the same in here. You might hear collars jingling.
Okay. Great. Look, this is real life. It's what it is.
Yes.
I wanted to start off briefly by asking, why did I think catalog was spelled with a UE? I feel like you might have thought that too because it was in our calendar. And then I typed it in and it like had a little squiggly as if it was spelled wrong. But
What?
I thought it was UE.
That's what I thought. How do you spell it?
IMDb has it without the UE. It's just ends a G. CATALOG. Is there two different spellings? Is there like a British spelling? Because I don't understand.
There could be a British spelling.
Well, I am just like, okay, if I type it into like just Google, the catalog does not, the spelling with the UE does not come up.
Okay, well.
Oh, wait. There's a thing that says what is correct, catalog or catalog. In the United States, the one without the UE is the most common way to spell the word. Okay, and then, but it doesn't say like where UE would be for, I don't know, whatever. You guys, catalog is spelled without the UE, and I'm like, my mind was blown. So I was like, how did I spell that wrong?
Right? No, I'm pleading didn't grow up here.
Because well, I don't have that excuse.
I know. Spent too much time with Maddie, who didn't grow up here. Okay. There you go. No, yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, now we have the correct spelling. But this was, okay, we're going to start with our team. So this was directed by Ken Whittingham, which, oh my gosh, this dude's resume is insane. Okay.
For reals, though.
Please listen to this, okay? So this is his first episode on Parks and Rec. Mm-hmm. Obviously, he directed a ton more after this, but this is his first one. And he directed Donna and Joe, How Bill Becomes a Law, Save JJ's, like so many iconic ones. But he's also directed a lot of episodes of The Office. If you listen to Office Ladies, you've heard his name. He did Phyllis's Wedding and Healthcare and some more, but those are the two that stood out to me. Grace and Frankie, which I thought was really cute. Crossover because Alex Hardcastle, who directed that, is a Grace and Frankie director. Girlfriends, which, oh my God, I love that show so much. It's on Netflix. It's not as popularized, I feel, as it should be anyway. But I mean, it was like an old old, that's not the right word, but it was a 90s, like 2000 show. So good. I love it so much. Scrubs, The Amanda Show, Malcolm in the Middle, and he did an episode of the Mindy Project. He did an episode of The Middle, which is the show with Neil Flynn, who's also in Scrubs. Also, did I ever tell you I was an extra on that one too?
Yes, yeah, I remember that one. You told me, like, I think the day before you went. Yeah.
Oh my God, I was so excited because Neil Flynn is my like improv god / like icon. He's awesome. Parenthood, 2 Broke Girls, an episode of Cougar Town. He did an episode of Gilmore Girls. He did a couple of episodes of Good Girls, an episode of Kenan and Kel, Entourage, Blackish. I can't even handle all the things that he's done. He's also currently a producer on Kenan, which is Kenan's new show.
Yeah. I haven't seen it yet, but
incredible. I haven't actually seen the Kenan's full episode, but I've watched like a few clips, or I think my mom had it on in the background one time when she was either here or I was back home. But it looked funny, and I was down, so I'm always down for Kenan.
We got to think Kenan has. I swear to God, he's almost been on SNL for 20 years.
Yeah, I think he has actually.
Yeah, so he's got, you'd think he has good enough material to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. So I'd love to talk to Ken sometime. So hopefully we'll get him on one day. We'll see. Yeah. But yeah, do you have anything else on Ken that I missed?
Nope, that knocked it.
Okay. Awesome. And then, okay, written by Katie DePold, who we've seen before. Friendly reminder, she's the one that's terrified of animals in the interview when Leslie and Chris Traeger are interviewing for the animal control position. And she's like, just please don't give me this job. That was her. And, oh, bless you.
Excuse me.
You're good. And she wrote 7 episodes of Parks and story edited for 16 of them. So she's like a huge player in Parks. But also friendly reminder that she wrote Beauty Pageant and The Setup, which is what we've seen her in before so far. And she also wrote on Mad TV. She was a writer on The Heat, Snatched, that one with Amy Schumer and Goldie Hawn. Have you seen that movie? Because I haven't.
No.
Okay.
The last thing I saw Amy Schumer for was... There was like I couldn't tell if it was a movie or a TV show, but she's in it. It's called like Amy's Life or something like that.
Inside Amy Schumer?
No.
Oh, different one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
Well,
know.
anyway, she's in a new Hulu show as well. I love Amy
cool.
Schumer. But anyway, Katie DePold, our writer, also did the new Ghostbusters, which we talked about. I think we talked about that on our beauty pageant episode when we were doing this the first time. But also, did you know that Paul Feig directed that? I totally forgot that.
Which one?
The Ghostbusters movie, the new one.
The girls one? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't know
So
that.
cute. And it makes sense that he would. She made a cameo in that one too. I saw on IMDb, and I saw also that the Heat 2 has been announced, which I did not know they were doing a second one. I know, it says 2023 is when it's supposed to come out.
The first one my mom and I saw in theaters when I still lived in Boston.
Wow,
That's how old
see?
it is.
That's wild,
Right?
I don't know. I
love me some Sandy B though.
Me too.
And
She's
Melissa
awesome.
McCarthy, of course.
Of course. Oh my gosh, so good. She's also a UCB alum, so that's really cool too. Okay. Anyway, so that's all I have on Katie. Do you have anything else on Katie DePold?
Nope, she's a repeat, so I didn't write very much down.
Dope. All right. And then I wanted to mention this because we talked about this in the last episode, just some more information up front. This episode, like the last episode, was still suffering competition from March Madness, but overall it had great reviews. So it came on, and I thought this was interesting. I think I knew this, but I totally forgot. And it was nice to have a reminder that it came on at 8:30 p.m. on Thursdays. That was its time slot. So I thought that was interesting because now on Thursdays at 8:30, I'll think back to a time when it was when Parks and Rec was airing.
Yeah. No, yeah. And then the March Madness, they said that March Madness was pulling in over 9 million viewers.
That's crazy.
So, some of those were probably Park Pal people. No, Parks and Rec fans.
Future Park Pals people.
Yeah. Well, because people get really invested in their brackets. Like, if I'm being honest,
Totally.
do I watch any, and I love this because you and Sean talked about this in the last podcast, that you were debating if I would have been watching March Madness or watching Parks and Rec, which the answer is I would 100% would have been watching Parks and Rec. Just because basketball isn't really my sport. But also college sports also aren't really my super thing. But my family, and Ivan and my dad's girlfriend's kids, we all made 3 brackets this year for March Madness, and so we that's as invested as I am. I've watched one game, but I have 3 brackets. Also, fun fact though, in the app that we used, over 17 million brackets were submitted, and by the end of the first day, less than 700 were left. Perfect.
Wow, that's
and there
crazy.
were only 4 or 5 games the first day. That's what it is.
So people didn't guess right.
No, well, they say that you have a better chance of right now. You have a better chance of saying, Maddie, pick up this one specific grain of sand on the earth that I'm thinking about right now. I have a better chance of picking that correct grain of sand than having a perfect bracket with March Madness.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Oh my God. We filled one out at work. We do it every year. And last year I was just picking what seemed fun to me because I had no idea what was going on. And then this time I didn't even know this is how bad it is. This time, one of the the newer gals that started showed me that because did you do it on the website? It's CBS or something like that has a bracket. And I don't know if that's the universal one or where'd you did it on an app. You said.
I did it on an app called Tournament Challenge, and I think it's through ESPN, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, maybe it is. Maybe mine was too. Either way, regardless, I'm sure all of them have it where you have the team name and then there's a little tiny number to the left of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not know what that tiny little number was
The
last
ranking?
year. Which is the entire fucking point. I felt so stupid, but then I was like, look, I don't know what anything is. So,
But
I
that's the crazy thing, though, Holly, is like it doesn't matter where you're ranked because crazy ass underdogs win these games sometimes.
That's
so
true.
like you're still not going to get a perfect bracket if you choose all the people that were, predicted to win.
Right.
So,
all right. Well, we'll see how that goes. I haven't really, if I'm being honest, also, I haven't checked my bracket to see how far along I've come or what's going on with it. So I don't know. I'll look at it later. Okay. I'm ready for a summary whenever you are.
all right, I made it short and sweet because it's pretty.
Yeah.
It's pretty general. Okay. Leslie rounds up all the past Parks and Rec Department directors in an attempt to make an unforgettable summer catalog, where I spelled it with UE at the end, and Apple did not correct me.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah. Tom is put in charge of getting the cover photo for whatever reason, and sparks are flying with Andy and April.
We got some Andy and April, like, awkwardness. Oh, my God. Cannot wait for that.
I know.
Maybe, you know what? I can't stop thinking about it, too. Maybe the Apple, like, thinks that it's right. So I'm going to say that there are two different ways. Because this one, everything that I've spelled has been on Google, technically. So
what you should do when we post the episode is just put the UE in parentheses after
that's what I was
G.
going to do. I was thinking that.
On the same point, always.
Yeah, same page.
Okay.
All right. So this cold open, lots of rain. It is pouring outside.
It
They're
is,
in the
and
office.
I honestly couldn't tell if it was snowing or raining at some points.
Interesting.
Because it almost looked like, I don't know if it's just the camera, but
Okay.
it made it look a little bit like snow. But I'd also like to comment on the fact that Ron walks in and there's absolutely no wetness on his coat.
I know.
Like,
It's like a waterproof raccoon.
yeah.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Yes, and then Tom says, well, first of all, he asks if he can wear, but he calls him Swiss Family Ronmanson.
Mm-hmm.
Did you look up what this reference was, or did you know what this reference was?
Yeah, Swiss Family Robinson, right?
Right. I've
Yeah.
never seen that movie or heard of that movie.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
Yeah, so in case anyone didn't know that, that's a play on that movie, Swiss Family Robinson, which is a 1960 Disney movie where the Robinson family flees the reign of Napoleon to start afresh in New Guinea, aka Australia. And when their ship gets damaged en route, the family takes refuge on a deserted island. The Robinsons learn to live in the wild, have various adventures, and build an impressive house in a tree. However, while island life is full excitement, the question of whether to return to civilization looms. I thought that was a really interesting summary /
That is an
synopsis.
interesting summary.
Yeah, I mean, but it was in the 1960s, so it must have been a big deal for Tom to have known.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Or maybe Katie DePold or whoever wrote that line was like, it was a
right.
big deal for
It
them.
meant
I don't
something
know.
to them.
Yeah, I'll put it in the poll. I've been having fun with the Instagram poll, seeing if like people have watched certain things or, have related to certain cultural references in the show. So I think the amount of people that have watched Avatar only won by one person. So it's basically half and half because that was a poll that I had.
I also have thoughts and feelings about Avatar, which we don't
Okay.
have to get into, but like.
Okay. All right, let's get through this episode, and then if we have a lot of time left, we'll do that. Oh, my God. Okay, so I wrote down all of Tom's pickup lines, by the way.
Oh, great. I don't like these hats, if I'm being
Really?
honest with you. Do I believe Ron can pull it off better than Tom? 100%.
100%.
But I would never buy one of those hats, and I would never buy one of them for Ivan.
Yeah. I don't think that I would ever wear that 100%. And if I saw it, I don't know what I'd do, really. It's not the 1960s anymore. Or we're not in, 1800s anymore, either. Or
Right.
whenever Paul Bunyan's time was.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm
also-
Tom. I have a raccoon on my head.
Yeah, Also, if anybody's coming at me with those lines,
No.
nah. Hard pass.
Oh, well, I just think it's funny because, like, from the physicality of it, he's literally standing in the corner, like, on a raised platform part of the hallway, as if he's on a stage, as if the girls or the ladies are his audience. Like, he's not trying to have a real conversation or anything like that. He's just trying to, appeal to somebody.
Yeah, he wants somebody to react.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
This one, excuse me, my friend over here was digging through your trash, and I think we might have a lot in common. What?
That's
like so
that's like
creepy.
stalkerish.
Exactly. And then under his breath, he's like, "Would you like to see a movie sometime?" I also like this one too. Are you a raccoon because you've been running around head all day?
Yeah, he flumps it in the middle.
Oh my God.
But
it's so funny.
I love this in between where he's like, this is not working. I'm going to Donna.
Yeah. And then she comes up with like the best one.
My gosh.
It's you season.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's
just
so
great.
good.
I want to know. I would have been great if he had gone out there and taken that one and used that.
I wonder too.
If we saw a different change. Like if we saw change.
Or is it like it only works if Donna says it because she has the swag that he does not?
She really does have the swag. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think he could pull it off.
Yeah, I wonder.
I think he just comes across too creepy in the way he says the things too.
I agree.
So
I like this one too. The damn girl, your hotness killed my raccoon. That one I like. I'll give it up for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, what
how
were
do
you
you
gonna say?
feel about pickup lines if like somebody's using them on you?
I never take them seriously, so the pickup line has to make me laugh. Like if it makes me laugh, then I'm like, oh, that's a good joke, rather than a way to get me. I guess in turn it can do both.
Right.
But I never think like, oh, that's so sexy and that's a turn on. Like that's not.
Yeah.
It has to make me laugh or like be intriguing. I will say one time, and this is not a pickup line but one time, oh my God, maybe I've told you this or maybe I've said this on the podcast. One time there was a guy in Boston, those people that stand on the side of the streets and like, give you a catalog or get you to sign up for some like ASPCA or whatever it is. This guy walked by, we walked by this guy and he said, "Wingardium Leviosa, so what's up?"
Oh,
and I was like, I will stop
that's good.
for that.
Yeah, I will stop for that. Good job, dude.
I know, and I was like, I didn't think about it at the time to ask, like, did he make that up? Because that's really brilliant. Or where did he hear that from?
Right. Where did you get it?
What do you feel about it?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat with you. I would never take it seriously. I would never be like, yeah, I'm totally about this. You talking to me like this. Like it has to be like a joke.
Yeah.
It has to be considered a joke by them as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be so sad if it was like I was just laughing at something that he was trying to be serious about.
Yeah, that'd be so sad.
Oh my God. I also think that it's really, so there was like a bunch of deleted scenes in this. Like there were a lot of alternate lines. So I'm sure that they just let him go, I'm sure they had things scripted, but they must have just let him kind of play with some stuff. Because this last one, maybe this was written. I wish I had the script or something, but where he goes, "I have a raccoon hat. I'm an interesting person." You're not even trying at that point.
It's so desperate. That one is so desperate.
Oh my God. And then there was this one. Oh, I liked this one too, because you don't see that he knows that he's being creepy. So in the deleted scene, he goes, "My hat would look good on you and I would look good in you." And then he's like, no, I'm so sorry. That was really offensive. I deeply apologize. So like, I don't know. I guess that was a like over the line joke anyway. But I kind of liked seeing like, oh, okay, I know that this is ridiculous. Oh,
right.
There she comes. There's Phoebe. So anyway, she doesn't like it either. She does not like this pickup line. Okay. Okay. So anyway, Tom hands Ron back his hat and Ron immediately gets attention. Ron's face is amazing and so funny when this lady pops in and then he just like has this smirk just staring at Tom like, yeah, bitch.
Yeah. This is mine.
Right. Exactly. Okay. So now I'm at where Leslie comes into Ron's office. Is that where you are?
Yes.
Okay.
And Ron not liking surprises.
Correct. Yeah. So she says she has a surprise, telling Ron to meet him at Harvey James Park at 11:30, and then he says that thing about Tammy One tried to throw him a surprise party and he called the cops on them. That doesn't sound like, maybe they didn't know who Tammy One was, because that doesn't sound like something Tammy One would do.
Hard pass.
Yeah,
No.
she don't care about his birthday.
Tammy too would, because she knows Ron hates surprises.
Interesting.
But Tammy One seems too straight and narrow.
Yeah.
For it.
Yeah. Interesting.
Not about it.
Yeah. I saw that there were pigeons at 219, so everyone go look at that.
Yes. Nice.
That will never get old for me, and I apologize if that's annoying to everyone, but I don't care. Okay. And then Leslie tells us a surprise in a talking head that she's putting together the summer catalog, and she's going to reunite all the living formal Parks Department at a picnic. She wants to record it and write about it in the welcome letter. And then it shows this huge wall in the conference room with like papers and Post-it notes, and it looks like a crime scene investigation. I mean, the whole entire wall is covered. It's nuts.
That's how I assume most magazine editors' offices look.
Yeah,
maybe
honest. You're right. Because 13 and going on 30, if you've seen that, like that's kind of what they do.
Well, and even Devil Wears Prada is kind of similar. I mean, she's got the whole book thing situation,
gotcha.
right? But like there's so much that goes into like the editing process that I think seeing it that way would be really helpful. That's how I would do it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I agree.
So, I mean,
yeah, it's so that
this is also
it's all cohesive together.
Yeah, exactly.
And that what
because you don't want to
exactly like the next.
Right, exactly. I also like don't know why she's putting so much effort into just the welcome letter. I mean, I know this is Leslie, right?
Yeah.
But like the welcome letter, I'm going to be honest with you. I subscribed to Women's Health for probably 2 or 3 years when I was in college. I really liked getting the magazines and you know, all that. Mm-hmm. Did I ever read the welcome letter? No, I did not.
Yeah.
No, I did not.
So
it's like this is so much effort.
I know, I get it. Well, and it's hard to miss too, right? Because it's like stuck in the table of contents sometimes and whatever. But I got a Cosmo subscription because it was like a COVID purchase, I feel, and I was like, why not? And it was actually relatively cheap. It was only like $30 for the year, and I was like, I will do that. And they have editor's notes in there, and I do read them. But I'm like that with museums too, where I just read every single thing. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But
no, that's fair.
Either way. So, I mean, but like, you know, that's 50-50. I mean, not everyone's going to read that. So I get what you're saying.
Right. Yeah. Like, I feel like I would put more effort into like an article about what we're going to do at the pit.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like I think her time could have been better spent. But who knows? She had a good idea, and she's like Leslie. So once she had the good idea, she's like, let's go.
Right.
So
yeah, and also side note. Okay, so this is probably not a big deal to anyone else, but Tom says that the centerfold is the best part. And in the last episode, Tom was reading a magazine that was on the centerfold that said "sexies." I don't know what he was reading, but I was like, oh, I wonder if that was on purpose. Probably not. I mean, maybe. I don't know. You never know. But I was like, oh my God, he loves his centerfold in 2 episodes. That's continuity.
Yeah, that is continuity. But it's also like that's where, like that was the big thing in Playboy was if you were the
right.
If you were the centerfold.
100%,
So,
which is very Tom.
That also tracks with Tom too. Yeah.
And he goes, am I right, Justin? And he forgets that he's not there anymore. A little callback to Justin.
We broke up like 6 weeks ago. Yeah, we did.
I know. I like that little timeline that they said 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
I love April's line, can you Photoshop your life with better choices?
I know. Oh my God, so sad. Yes, because Jerry pulls up the softball photos, and Morgan apparently is this creepy guy / the pedophile. And he's like, no, I can Photoshop him out. It's totally fine. And I don't trust Jerry that he could do that anyway. So no. I think April's comment is kind of warranted, even though it's really mean.
Yeah. Yeah, poor Jerry.
Poor little Jerry.
They're so proud of him for like 10 seconds.
I know, right? Totally. He pulls it up correctly. He didn't fart while he was doing it.
Yeah.
But then Leslie has Tom think of cover photo ideas, and Tom goes on this rant of how much he loves ads, which makes sense. Totally. That's such a good character, little detail for him, because he's all about the flash and the money, never the substance. Designer jeans and vodka. I thought those were two like perfect things, because they're so not wholesome. They're just completely like insubstantial.
Right. Yeah.
Also,
can we talk about
whiskey?
Yeah, I was just about to say, can we talk about the fact that he's drinking at work and like no one's commenting?
I'm so glad that
Like,
you noticed that too. I was like, what the fuck?
Not only is he drinking at work, he's drinking in the middle of a presentation he's giving, which also I highly doubt anybody asked for this presentation.
No, absolutely not.
Like, this was just him going above and beyond. So we're getting to see some of his potential here, right? Like, you know, we're getting little inklings throughout this season that like when he wants to do something, he can, and he can go to really great lengths for it. But at the same time, it's like, dude,
right.
like,
yeah, because
why?
Leslie totally asks him to like do the cover photo, but she does not tell him to do this.
No. No. This seems, no offense to him, but this seems like a waste of time.
Yeah, no, totally, absolutely, because it's not serious, and those things are never going to go on the front page.
No.
And also, this is where we learn kind of what like the summer catalog actually is, because if I'm being honest, I don't know like if my I'm sure my hometown did, and I'm sorry. I feel bad about like the people that probably worked really hard on it, and I never knew. But like apparently, you know, we're trying to sell Pawnee on our summer classes, and it's a throwaway line. Like you don't really. I mean, I guess that's not like the most important thing, but I thought that was really interesting because I had never clocked like what exactly this catalog had to do with anything.
Yeah, no, that's pretty accurate. Because I always thought like it was just ways to stay active or, you know, new things that have been put up in the park.
Yeah.
So
yeah, like a newsletter almost, kind of. But
yeah, exactly.
Also, did you think that this picture of the guy running looked like John Ralphio at all?
I'm gonna have to go back and look.
Like
I did not pay close enough
see
attention.
His face, but I just thought it looked like John Ralphio. So I thought that it could have definitely been him. And then this picture of a baby in a field. Like, where did he even get this?
Oh, it's got to be stock photos.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think he took any of these. If I'm being honest with you, these all look like stock photos.
Yeah, that's probably true. It's not like he was putting in the effort to go take pictures. I also love Leslie's line of, well, this isn't going to work. So
yeah, I like how she just shuts him down.
Me too.
Like she does not take any of his shit. She's like, listen, this is not what we're looking for. Go get what we're looking for.
Yeah.
What do you want? Someone like a family on the swings? Yeah. Yeah.
Go
me that. Yeah. I just love that line so much.
Me too.
And his little line, why is this cup so tiny?
I know. I think this is the first time that we see this famous espresso picture, right? I don't think we've seen it before.
No,
and we see this so many times throughout the show. But he does
Yeah.
that thing. It really reminded me. He does that thing that Michael Scott does when he's showing photos on his slide. Like, oh, no one's supposed to see that. How did that get there?
Yeah. Oops.
This is where I like to go to be by myself. Who took the picture? Ryan.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I just love how like delusional he is about like, well, I'm cool if that's the cover photo, you know, like it's fine. You know, like I'm cool with it. You guys are. Are we done here?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's very Michael Scott. You're right.
Yeah. Now I have where Mark is at the hospital, if you are.
Yeah, I'm there, and I think it's really sweet that he's remembering. And this is my thing. I think by the end of the episode, we really understand that Anne's not necessarily in this. But the fact of the matter is she's still putting the effort to get him a 6-month anniversary gift. So she's not all the way out the door, if that makes sense.
Right.
I think she's got one foot out the door and one foot still in the relationship, which still isn't fair to Mark.
Right.
Right. But at the same time, you're like, okay, she's not completely stringing him along while she's like done.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I got from her having the gift.
Right. Yeah. Like halfway in, halfway out. And I also feel like a part of me wonders if she's just kind of doing this because this is what you do when you get to that point.
That's
or if
true
it's just
too.
like a tradition kind of thing. Like you're just used to it at this point. But no, I think that you're right. But I also wonder, so on Office Ladies, they talked about how it's so funny. Okay, I have a couple of things on this scene. So lots of controversy happened in my head. First of all, the gift level was so strange. Like a Swiss Army watch versus like a sandwich or whatever the hell.
But I have something to say now
Yeah.
to that, now that we've just talked about the dynamic of the relationship,
Mhm.
right? His is more personal.
Is it?
Even though it's not more expensive,
Yeah.
I
Does
think
she like
he's
that? Is that her favorite food or something?
Yeah, I think he says
Oh,
something
okay.
about like, I brought you your favorite thing for lunch or whatever.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
So first of all, he's thinking about her because he knows she probably isn't taking a break to eat, being
Yeah.
a nurse, and he's bringing her a food that she likes.
Mm.
I think there's more thought and this is just me personally.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to look at relationships differently, but I look at this as being more personal and from the heart than buying a Swiss Army watch, unless he's like mentioned it over and over again that he wants it.
Okay.
And I've told Ivan the same thing over and over again. A gift that costs $10 that means something to me is going to mean way more than if you got me a $300 necklace.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
You know?
See, to me, they seemed both impersonal. I don't know. Like they both didn't. They seem like generic almost. But I guess if she like, here's lunch that anyone could have gotten me, and here's this Swiss Army watch that I don't know if you really need, but like it's nice. I don't know. Maybe I'm
Right.
just bitter.
But-
I don't know.
No, but I think both of us are making the point that this is not working. because if
That's
we go
the
with
true
yours,
point.
yes, because if we go with the way you're seeing it, then neither of them are putting the effort in.
Right. And
And
then,
they're not meeting each other where they need each other.
yeah. And I also see this parallel. Also, it's so funny, too, because Rashida Jones is in both of these relationships that I'm talking about, like this one,
Right.
and then the Jim and
Karen.
Karen one. And in Office
Yeah.
Ladies, they talk about the 6 months thing, because in the office they get each other 6 months presents too, which
Yep.
is hilarious that Rashida
Yep.
Jones is in both of those. But also, like in Office Ladies, they talk about how like, do we get each other 6 months presents? And then Pam was like, Jenna Fisher was like, sometimes I think we get 6 months presents when we know we're in trouble. Kind of, because like you wouldn't, like if you're in a solid relationship, like you wouldn't necessarily do that, because maybe you go out to dinner or something and you talk about, I don't know. But I mean, that is me personally. I don't know. Everybody celebrates anniversaries differently. So who's to say, really?
Oh yeah, it's 100% relationship to relationship.
Yeah.
It's gonna,
But either
and
way,
I think, yeah, either way.
it is so funny though. It blew my mind though to think about like the parallel between Karen and Anne.
Yeah, yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, why? Okay, this is my last thing on this. Why is she carrying that watch in her scrubs? Like, she didn't know that he was coming by, right? She was just hanging out with it. I
Yeah.
thought that was really funny to me. It doesn't matter; it's a stupid detail. But I was like, what? Maybe she didn't want to leave it in her locker or something in case it got stolen.
Yeah.
I
have no idea.
Side note. I did do a tiny, tiny deep dive on the Swiss Army watch. Not a huge one, but Victorinox apparently is the brand of a Swiss Army watch. Did you know that?
Mhm.
Okay, I did not know that. But they range anywhere from, like, there's one that's $90, which is, like, super, super low end. But, like, the basic ones start at $190, and they go all the way up to $900. So I really hope that she got the lower end because
Yeah.
of being a nurse, and also just because, like, 6 months, you probably should. You don't even know if you like this guy that much.
Right? Yeah. She probably didn't. If I'm being honest, like knowing Anne, she probably wasn't a big spender on that.
Right. Yeah, I don't think so. But Mark really seems to really like it. He seems very taken aback. I loved his reaction and performance here. Like, he couldn't tell
Yeah.
whether the guy was
Same.
actually dead. And then his talking head of, like, that guy really seemed dead.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the whole performance from Mark here is so good, I thought.
Yeah, me too. But there's a deleted scene that I wanted to play for you because I thought it was really interesting and I wanted to get your thoughts on it. Because I'm glad they cut it, if I'm being completely honest. So, let me play it.
Love you.
Yeah, we do say it now. It's nice to hear someone say they love you. It's a good feeling. He lived a really long life.
So he was talking about, she was talking about the guy that seemed dead.
Yeah.
Because, like, they couldn't stop staring. But the love you thing, I was like,
yeah.
I don't need them to say they love each other. That doesn't track.
No, well, and here's
But also the way she explained it of like, it's nice
Right,
to hear
exactly.
someone say, I love you. That's how you feel? about
right.
it?
That's not what you should be saying. You should be proud that it's Mark.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what she's looking for. Like, is that she just wants somebody to love her. I mean, after Andy, I think Andy
Yeah.
did a number on her.
I do too.
You know, because I think her bar is so low.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, do you know that? Do you know a New Girl
Uh-huh.
when Jess realizes she doesn't want to be with Russell anymore?
Which one's Russell again?
The older guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's no passion.
Yeah.
Right? But he was successful.
Yeah.
He had things that the other guys she hadn't dated had,
He
right?
checks all the
And that's what
the
Mark
marks.
is.
Yeah.
But she doesn't have the passion that she had with Andy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the issue.
I agree. And that's the thing. It's just like, even though Andy, and it's like Andy and Russell, what was it, Russell?
Mhm.
Yeah, can be like swapped almost, where like Andy doesn't have the good stuff, but like there is that passion kind of thing, which is exactly what you're saying. But I mean, it's just like, yeah, it sucks. It sucks. Ugh.
Yeah.
Anyways,
But it's just a lesson in love. Like in New Girl, Nick is not as bad as Andy.
yeah,
but like Nick keeps all of his money in a box.
Yeah.
And he's not where Jess wants him to be.
right.
But there's a love there that like that makes
Mhm.
everything else kind of seem like not that important.
Yeah.
But that's not happening with Mark.
Look, in the eternal words of Selena Gomez, the heart wants what it wants. Okay.
Yes.
The heart
Exactly.
wants what it wants, baby. But it sucks because it's so detrimental to some people too. Love can be like
Yeah.
so good and so bad. Ugh.
Really can be.
Anyway, yes, I think that is such an interesting analyzing moment of like human connection. So, anyways, there is now. Oh wait, are you done with that one with the hospital?
Yes.
Okay, because now I'm at where April and Andy are in the parking lot playing with the picnic food.
Yes.
And there's a truck
Where-
behind them, by the way, that says Pawnee Street Services. I don't know if you saw that, but I really appreciated that detail.
I didn't. Nice.
Yeah.
I like this line of that's the boy version of softball.
I know. It's so dumb.
And April throwing the salmon onto the roof
I
while they were getting the
know!
picnic.
And all
Also,
she
this
does
is so unsanitary to me because the whole scene starts out with April. She's literally throwing rolls to Andy across the parking lot with her bare hands and
Yeah.
hoping that they land in the picnic basket.
Yeah, gross. And then Andy's sweaty
That makes
hands
me
are on some
uncomfortable.
of them too when he catches them or whatever. Yeah. I really do hate that. I mean, I guess it's kind of like the Angela of The Office, where sometimes I'm just like, God, you're so frustrating, because all April does is do a little pouty face. She doesn't even say sorry
Yeah.
about doing the salmon thing, and I'm like, you guys, stupid. But I do like this little moment of them sharing something in common, as far as like having played softball / baseball. And then Anne comes in and says to Tom, like, where's Leslie? She texted me from your phone and says that she left her phone at home and that she should come here immediately. And as she's talking, she's like, well, why did I believe you?
Yep. I should not have believed this. Yeah.
Totally. And then Mark rushes in, and again, I love his performance here. Of like, he comes in, he sees her, and he's like, "Hi," like
Yeah.
halfway through. It's so cute. There's no such thing as a city planning emergency. I love that little detail, that little subtle nod to what we've been talking about, where Mark is like not sure / uncertain of his job because there's really no stakes here. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I love
Yeah.
that. And Diana
I also
Witz.
I love that. I love this relationship name, Ann Danowitz. It's the best thing of their relationship.
I do too. I agree. Which is so sad.
Yeah.
So
Also,
there's-
like, Tom, nice job using Leslie to manipulate. Like, he knew that Anne would do anything for Leslie,
I
and that was
know.
that. I mean, that was sad, but it was also well planned.
It is, yeah. That was smart.
Yeah,
In the words of Tom, smart Anne.
smart.
Which I don't remember which episode that was, but I remember it.
Yep.
So he tells them that they should be models on the front of the summer catalog, and Mark is all in because they don't have any pictures together, which is also weird. And
Yeah, that is. Although I'll say, like, I'm really, really shitty about remembering to take pictures. Like,
Yeah.
Ivan and I have to all of a sudden at the end of a trip be like, oh gosh, we got to take pictures, which is why I'm really excited that you are going to be at the I mean, you were going to be there anyway.
Yeah.
But like having you at the bachelorette party, I think you're going to be really good at reminding us all to take pictures.
Yeah.
And that's important because I want pictures and I want video and I want everything to be documented.
Oh my God.
And I'm really bad at remembering.
Yeah.
Because I'm not on my phone a lot, like
Mhm.
when we're doing stuff. And so it's like, I forget like, hey, you should pull your phone out and take a picture.
Yeah. No, it makes
So-
sense. Well, and especially like selfies, sometimes it's trickier. I mean, depending on who you are,
Yeah.
obviously. But sometimes I get caught in like taking pictures of like, you know, the scenery or wherever I am, so I forget to turn the camera around and be like, "Oh, let's get a picture of all of us." But I'm pretty decent at it. I'm not going to lie. I did something, I'm maybe to an annoying point, but at the end of every trip like that I take with my mom and my sister, I always start like a photo album, cuz you can do that on the Apple or whatever phone, the iPhone, and you can like invite
Right.
people and they can share the photos in the album and you can see everybody's photos that they took. So that will definitely be a thing.
Right. Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, and I think to your point though that Anne and April.
I know
Anne and
all
Mark.
there are 3 names: Anne, April, and Andy. All
Yeah.
A's.
Yep.
Annoying.
And
Anyway,
yeah.
go ahead. Anne and Mark don't have pictures.
Anne and Mark. To your point, if you were to go back to the first 6 months that Ivan and I were dating, we have a lot more pictures together than I would say we do in the last year and a half.
Interesting.
Because you're still in that part of your relationship where it's like, this is new, we want to flaunt this. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And then
So.
you get like kind of settled in it and you're like cool with it, you know? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So now where they're actually at the picnic or at the parking lot, I suppose. And Andy and April do a sweater swap. And this is like, okay, we're doing this. We're like fully flirting now, especially with like April tugging at the
Oh,
sweater,
yeah.
being like all cutesy. Like, we're flirting.
Yes.
We're real.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Leslie needs to realize that there's a reason that these 4 men are never put in the same place.
I
at the same
know,
time.
and I guess that was a good point to bring up, because I wonder, like, did she know? She must not have known. Like, she doesn't. I don't even think she's ever met any of these people, so she must not have known that they like didn't
Right.
get along. You know?
The issue is she needed to tell Ron ahead of time, and Ron could have
Oh,
warned
she would
her.
not have believed it, don't you think?
That's
Or she
that's
would have
fair.
just been like,
But
whatever,
then there
we'll
would
get
at least
along.
be
We'll all get along because I'm in charge of it, and I'm just gonna plan it anyways. You know what I mean?
exactly. But then I think there would have at least been a "told you so" moment.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, like, hey, let's learn
Right.
from this. Not a, oh, I didn't know you guys didn't get along type situation.
Ugh, I know.
I mean, on a side note, I love her outfit.
Me too. I think it looks great.
Yeah, that's
Cute
my
little
favorite.
pink plaid moment.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I really feel for her in this moment because like she just has such a high expectations, and it's just
Yeah.
instantly shattered.
Yeah.
But people are pulling up, and I love Leslie's line here of just act normal, just be normal people.
Yeah, like the you guys are gonna end up being the most normal people here.
Right. Exactly.
So I don't. Yeah.
Okay,
But-
so are we ready for our guest star breakdown of all these bitches? Okay.
Yes. Do it.
First guy, the old Parks director arrives, David Moser, and this character is played by, I don't know how to pronounce his name if I'm being completely honest with you, but it's Dakin, so Dakin, I don't know, but anyway, thank you, sir. His last name is Matthews. He's a huge TV actor. He's a huge theater actor in addition to his theatrical credits, but most people our age, if you watch Gilmore Girls, will recognize him as Hanlon Charleston, which was so cute because I knew that I'd seen him before, but I mean, I can't quote Gilmore Girls, but I know, like, when I saw that on IMDb, I was like, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And then he's also in Desperate Housewives, a TV show called Down Home, which was a show in the 90s, which is like a really popular TV show. He was in a few episodes of The Jeff Foxworthy Show, General Hospital, King of Queens, Lincoln, the movie, True Grit, Bridge of Spies, which was, okay, side note, there was a TV series that he was in. Did you see this? I don't know if you saw this, that he was in called The Office. No? Okay. what the heck, because it's not The Office as we know it, but so there was this TV show that was called The Office, and I looked up what it was. So it's an office comedy version, which is funny because it's a British series that it was started as, called Upstairs Downstairs, and then it was translated / adapted to American television into a show called The Office, and it's centering on the camaraderie of executives and their secretaries of a busy corporate office at a design packing company. But it has nothing to do with The Office that we know, but it's weird that this one was also an American version of a British show, and that's so wild.
And why did they not name it something different?
Well, that one was first.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So weird. So, but then it ended, I think, in like the 2000s or something. So, or like earlier 2000s rather. But anyway, he has a degree. Actually, I thought this was a fun fact, in theology, and he studied at the Vatican, and he played a priest in 177 Minutes, which I've never seen, but it was a movie about a supposed miracle where a teenage girl comes back to life after being declared dead for 3 hours.
Oh,
Which is interesting because he studied theology and he got to play a priest in that one.
that's cool.
Yeah. But he was also a teacher at Juilliard, and Patti LuPone was one of his students, apparently. And it's just like so crazy, like all the things that he was in. And all of these, as we'll talk about, all of these guest stars, old Parks Department directors are so widely known. They're huge actors, so I think it's amazing. Anyway, he asks how long this is going to take, and that's the first time that Leslie doesn't really see it yet. Hers is still gradual. She's just like, okay, I know you're a busy person, but the audience is like, oh boy, here we go. Okay, do you have anything else to say about David Moser?
No.
Okay, great. The next older fella that walks in is Jack Wallace, and he died on April 16th, 2020. So sad. I don't know if it was because of COVID or what it was, but anyway, it's so sad too
This
because
is Clarence or
Clarence, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's so sad because David Moser says like, Clarence, I thought you were dead.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which I think is such a like meta / interesting, funny thing.
And then he says, I'm going to outlive you and then bone your wife. So
good.
That.
I love it. But this guy, Jack Wallace, who played Clarence, was in a ton of stuff. He was in an episode of The Mindy Project, Grey's Anatomy, The Boy Next Door, which was a J-Lo movie that I never saw. So that's interesting. General Hospital, Eagle Heart, which he was in 14 episodes of. Shameless, like so many things. But we so appreciate his role as Clarence on Parks and Rec, so pour one out for our homie because he was awesome.
Yeah.
And then we've got Michael, who is actually the one with glasses, the hippie one, and he is riding a bike, which I think that is so cute little detail. But his name in real life is Michael. His full name is Michael Gross, and he's been in a ton of stuff. I mean, it's wild. But he's primarily known for Family Ties, and he was the dad in that. He was also in Sister of the Bride, which is a Hallmark movie, so my mom has probably seen him. 'Cause I don't.
My mom too. That's all we do at Christmas. My mom and I watch Hallmark movies.
I do that too. And I also do it like just when I go home, like we watch the random, movies that they have throughout the year. So it's, and I looked him up and he's been in a ton of Hallmark movies. Like, it's so funny, these names. I'll read out these names of some of the Hallmark movies he's been in. Christmas Pen Pals, A Ring for Christmas, Christmas Reservations. Those are real movies.
Yeah. Oh, I know they're real movies.
I'm sure they're great though. And the one Sister of the Bride one that I was just talking about, he was in that with Beth Broderick, who actually plays the mom, one of the aunts in the taller one in Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Oh, yeah.
So, but yeah, so he is really doing the Hallmark thing, which look, honestly, if you can be a Hallmark actor and be in every couple movies, look, I cannot blame you because that's a good gig. He was also in ER, and he won a ton of awards for this movie called Our Father, where he has dementia, and it seems really deep. I watched the trailer; it looked really intense. And then I've never seen these movies. Do you watch or have you heard of the Tremors movies?
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, he
No.
plays Bert in that one, so if anyone cares about that. He was also born in Chicago, which is interesting. And so shouts to Chicago for Maddie.
Mhm.
And his IMDb says he was in a gang in high school, which is really interesting. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh at that. That's not funny. But he was in a gang in high school, and then he went to Yale after he became a better student, which was like a quote in, or not a quote, but like a subline in IMDb, which is really interesting.
Interesting.
But okay, and I'm just like, I don't want to like air out any laundry or anything like that, but I did email his agents, and his agent, I'm just curious. It's not like controversy at all, but I emailed his agents, and his agent said that he'll respectfully pass on the pod, which like, first of all, whatever. At least you email me back. That's great. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wonder sometimes, because I've heard on podcasts and in interviews in general and stuff, like I've heard of actors like never even getting like the message from their agent, and they just like pass. And like, I get it. Obviously, maybe something like that has happened, or so many small little things have come up where they told their agent at one point, like, you know what, like just make the executive decision. I don't even care, kind of thing. But I do wonder sometimes, like I remember Will Arnett said that on Smartlist, like one of their guests came on who is like a big actor now, and he was like, I tried to reach out to you, and Will was like, what? And he was like, yeah, I reached out to your agents at some point, and Will was like, I didn't get that. Maybe Will was lying, but still, I was like, see? But anyway, I
feel
really
like they
appreciate
have to
it.
vet some things, you know, especially
Yeah.
for someone as big as Will.
Yeah, totally. And this dude, I mean, he's like super famous for being on Family Ties and all these Hallmark movies. So, but at the same time, you can still talk to us or send a voice memo. Either way, we appreciate your work, and we thank you for your time on Parks and on Family Ties. Even though I've never seen that, I know that that's a big thing for a lot of people. And those are our three dudes, apart from Ron. So now they immediately start throwing insults at each other. And this is where Clarence says the thing about, I'm going to bone your wife. And Ron's like, shut your damn mouth. And oh my God, Leslie is just starting to think this is a mistake.
Yeah.
This is all in the parking
it
lot,
is.
too, by the way. Like, this is not, we haven't even started our walk.
I know.
I also wonder
It's
if Chris Pratt
ridiculous.
improvised the apartment thing. When
I
I say
know.
parks, do you say department? Apartment.
I really should have gone back to watch, because I thought about that too. And I think we could have probably told from people's
Oh, reactions.
reactions.
Yeah, maybe so. It could have been scripted. You just never know.
Yeah.
I also love how mad Ron gets when he's hungry. He's like such a baby, and his kind of like waddling run
His
where his
run.
arms are all spread out.
And now it's gone, and I hate everything. Do you know how many times a day or a week I say, and now I hate everything?
Yes. So
Just to be
but
dramatic.
it feels so real in the moment.
It really does. Well, and he already ate the snack bacon she packed him.
He
He's
smelled
like a
it in her
dog.
purse. He is a dog. That's a great, like, spirit animal for him, I feel.
It
Or like a
really is.
wolf.
Yeah. Have you seen those TikToks of the guy who, like, he acts out different?
Dogs. Yes,
Dogs.
dog breeds.
It's-
Yes.
Yes, I love it so much. I wonder if he's done any that are like Ron. I should go back and watch all of them.
Yeah. Has he done your dogs yet? I don't know what breed yours
I
are.
don't think so. No, but some of my favorites are the corgi. He's like, watch
yeah.
me walk away. And he has like a pillow in his butt. And the golden
Oh my
retriever,
God.
it's like, Dad, watch me. Are you watching?
Yes.
Dad. So good.
Totally. Or they have like, or he'll do how the different dogs react to robbers coming in. And I
Yes.
can't remember which one, but one was like, oh, I think it was a Doberman or something, where he's just like, him as the dog is just eating something and like, whatever, dude. But the robber just runs away because he gets so scared because people are so
Right.
freaked out by Dobermans.
Yeah, I know. It's so good.
Oh, that's so funny.
Anyway.
Moving on. I think Ron reveals that he doesn't even know any of the other Parks guys except for Michael, because Michael was right before him, which is really interesting. Because I don't know. I guess I wouldn't know all my predecessors, but if you're Leslie, then you absolutely would.
Right.
Oh my gosh. And I sent you this deleted scene, but there is this precious deleted scene of Andy and April. April says her feet are hurting, and Andy is teasing her about never going outside, like who wears Keds on a hike or whatever, or on a walk or whatnot. And Andy's like, okay, if you'll stop complaining, I'll give you a piggyback ride. And it's so precious. And I'm going to post it in our stories, or maybe I'll post it on the main feed. But either way, you guys have to watch it. It's so cute. I really wish they didn't cut it, but I love it.
Yeah. I think it sets up pretty well for the relationship.
Totally. Well, now I'm at where Tom is taking pics of Andy and Ann pushing this kid on a swing.
Where did they get this kid?
I don't know. I could not find him on IMDb, Maddie. I tried. I really looked everywhere. I like Googled it on the Wikipedia, and I could not find this kid. So, but I mean,
Okay, but also, Holly, where did Tom get this kid?
oh,
Which is my main question as someone who
just like
works
the
closely
business.
with DCS.
my
I'm
God.
so concerned for this child.
I love our different reactions. That's
Yeah.
hilarious. I'm like, business, IMDb. That kid, if he's an actor, needs to have his IMDb up stat. And you're
Yeah.
like, but is he okay? That's a great question. I do not know. I would imagine that Tom was on the playground and was just like, yo, come here. And Ann and Mark are weirdly okay with it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay. I was wondering when I was going through this episode, Anne is holding her hands together and kind of snaking her arms like around Mark, and Mark is like on his knees like with his hand up, and I was like, what is this backstory? Like, what the hell is happening?
He's being too avant-garde. Is what
Yeah,
he's being.
but I want to play a deleted scene for you, and so I think I can't remember if it was all of the one that you found too, because I know you found this one as well. Hang on, let me see. Tom photo, okay. It's like, and I don't even think I recorded all of it because it was such a long explanation of like what he wanted to get. And he was giving everybody different backstories. And I was just like, what is even happening? But okay, let me just play this for you.
These people, they're the perfect family. They found each other, they boned, you gave birth. But is there a dark, ugly secret beneath this perfect exterior? They're in the witness protection program, and the mob just found out their location, and this is their last chance for a family photo. Use it, go.
Like, what?
Oh my gosh.
So it's
Wow.
like super random. And there's one even shit, I thought I recorded it, but I guess I didn't because wait, what's this one? Okay, so sorry, but the main reason I wanted to get this deleted scene was because I wanted to know what the hell that Mark and Anne were doing, and that's what this is. Okay.
Come with me. Now let's take a real photo. Something that will intrigue, stimulate, and captivate. Mark, get on your knees, arch your back, and look upwards like you just saw a blimp.
Sure. Why again, though?
Damn it, Mark! I'm trying to tell a story about aspirations. I'm trying to be visually interesting. Can you just go with me here? Nice. Perfect. And you're a snake. Slither around his body.
I will only do that if you can defend it artistically.
Parks, Garden of Eden, Temptation, Snake. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. Ooh.
So then he slides down the slide, and as
Yeah,
he's
while
taking the
he's
picture,
taking the
that's how it
picture.
ended. But Anne like has this look after he says Garden of Eden snake. She's like, okay, I guess that counts.
Oh, and
But I was really intrigued because I was like, oh, Tom, what are these random ass things? And woof, that was a lot going on. So if anyone was
Yeah, it
wondering
was a
why
lot.
she was like a snake, that's why.
yeah,
So
that's a lot.
okay, so now I'm back at the picnic where she's talking to Clarence. And she asks what the first summer catalog was like, and he said he used to teach because women weren't allowed to teach, at least not in my department, is what he says.
This guy infuriates me the entire episode.
Oh, it's so awful.
It's like
so
the
awful.
park. It reminds me of the park ranger that comes and is talking to Leslie after the hunting trip. Like after, that's what it reminds me of.
So you got a little emotional.
Yeah. I was
And
like,
the
dude.
sad part is, and that's what this show does so well, is that this is real. Like,
Yeah.
people
Legit.
think this. People have
Yeah.
these thoughts in their head. Not just old people, but people in general. And
Yeah.
it's wild. Amy Poehler's face, though, when he's describing why she shouldn't be a deputy director is hilarious. Women, oh my God, I almost don't want to read this, but whatever. Women need a lot of blood to
Yeah.
flow to the baby center, which leaves less for the brain. And he pats her head. I wrote in my comments, all caps, despicable. Disgust. Do not touch me, bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, the little old man.
I can't.
He did such a good job playing that role. It was like so
He really
real.
did.
Ugh. And then I'm at where Andy's eating so much Cheese Whiz, which is gross. And April can't stand it.
Yeah, I wrote that. Yuck.
Yeah.
Like, we were never allowed to have that in our house. Like, my mom was not about fake stuff like that. But also, like, I tried it as an adult and I was like, this is nasty.
Yeah.
And also putting it directly in your mouth. That's disgusting.
And it's so much. He takes some and then you think he's done and then he keeps going and it's gross.
It's like what you and I do with whipped cream, but
Yeah.
with string
Yeah.
cheese.
Whipped cream,
Yeah.
I could see.
That's normal. No one judge us. That's normal.
And then he says he should write a song called Life is a Picnic. And April says,
I like that.
what about Life is a Picnic with you? That's
Oh,
so
I know.
precious. And then it could be
So
about a
nice.
girl or Peyton Manning.
Yes, which I will give everybody an update on Peyton Manning because some people know him from one thing and some people know him from another. So in 2009, when this was referenced, 2010 even, he was playing for the Colts,
Okay.
which checks out, in Indianapolis. So that checks out why he likes Peyton Manning. But Peyton Manning finished his career with the Broncos, which is why I'm clarifying because
Yeah.
this is I feel like his franchise team, but like I think a lot of people know him from the Broncos too.
Interesting. And he's the one that just recently said he was going into retirement and then just came back out, or is that to someone else?
No, that's Tom Brady, girl.
Tom Brady. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm the worst.
Come on. You lived in New England.
I didn't follow it, sweetie. I'm so sorry.
I know. It's okay. My poor fiance has gone through so much heartbreak over that.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, okay. When I first heard that Tom Brady, I knew it was Tom Brady. When I first saw the article anyway. Not
Yeah.
now, obviously. But when I first saw the article that he was retiring, I was like, is he though? Is he? Are we sure?
And we thought, and we could be wrong for the future, but we thought he would retire with the Patriots, even if that meant he just signed a 2-day contract.
Yeah,
or
who did he
something
go with
them.
again?
He's still at the Buccaneers right now.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Crazy. Yeah, it's wild how it's just like it's not really about loyalty for them, which like loyalty in some regards like that is overrated because like who's giving you the money, I guess, but I don't know.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing.
It's a job.
And I don't know. Like Manning ended up having a Super Bowl with the Broncos, so
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I don't know.
That is the thing.
but
Well,
anyway, he finished 6th in the league that year.
okay.
And he
What does that
also
mean? Sixth
finished-
in the league, like sixth best, like rated.
it would be my assumption for
Okay.
quarterbacks.
Okay.
With it says 6th in the league in passer efficiency.
Mm.
So
Okay.
the most completed passes would be
Okay.
my assumption. Manning also finished 2nd in the league in passing attempts, completions, and percentage.
Okay.
So
All right.
not that that's important, but so you guys know that he was playing for the Indianapolis Colts
Yeah, I think that's
when
a great
Andy
fun fact.
referenced this.
Great.
So.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love
Yep.
it. Love it. Yeah, because I mean, what if we didn't know? You know?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I think it's all about behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then we have this big moment where Andy says they should grab a drink at Tucker's after this. And oh my God, you can see April trying to hold it together. Yeah, totally. Just trying to play it down. I love it so much. But still, I mean, I still can't tell if he's asking her out for reals or if it's just like, we're getting along right now. Let's go get drinks.
I can't tell either. Honestly, I really can't.
Yeah, I just don't know. So it gets a little more clear, I feel, in the next couple episodes for sure. But still, like, I don't know. But either way, that was a big moment. That's a big moment, all caps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, now we're at Leslie talking to David Moser, and he's littering as they're talking. It's awful. He says he actually hated the job of parks director. Like, who gives a crap about this crap? And the only reason that he... Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You were going to say exactly what I was going to say.
Oh,
So, go
yeah.
ahead.
The only reason he took the job is because Clarence was so old. And he just did it for the money and pension? Ugh.
Yep.
But,
Which
I mean,
is-
that is the reality of it. It really is. That's what people do. That's what Jerry's doing, honestly.
Well, I think we've gotten into a generation now where more people do what they want
for like passion and
because for the passion and for what they want to do. Whereas I think when our parents were growing up, or even like more before that, it was like you just got to do what's going to put food on the table and is consistent and stable. So
totally. Which that part I totally get, but you don't have to be a jackass about it, okay?
No.
And why are you littering your tissue? So gross. There was a deleted scene also where, because she first picks up the can or whatever he throw down, and then there is a deleted scene where it shows that she does pick up the tissue with a stick, in case anyone was wondering, because they cut that out, like where the tissue's just laying there and she's staring at it. She gets it with a stick. Because I was wondering, I was like, oh God, I want her to pick that up, but I don't because that's gross. So
yeah,
she does.
I'm glad there's an answer to that in the deleted scenes.
Yes. So now we're back at the park. And Anna
Where did
Marker
he
on
get
this
this
seesaw.
camera?
I know, this camera's fancy.
It's super fancy.
He probably went into debt to get it, honestly. He thinks that like he's going to have some sort of like ad thing. Or maybe it's the parks or like a government situation. Maybe he rented it from City Hall. Who's to say?
It could be. They needed to put the summer catalog together. They needed pictures in there. It could very well be the department's camera.
And then we have the Maxim or Good Housekeeping comment of like, which one are you doing? And she's not sure which one is the insult.
Right. Exactly.
But I think this kid is so cute, regardless of where they got him, both in real life and in the show. It's so funny because I felt like he wasn't really, or the little kid, like his little laughs and everything were really precious, and the smiles. There was some deleted scenes when Tom was like mean to the kid, and I was like really glad that they cut that, because that was like funny, I guess, when you think about it, because just humor in like a little bit of a dark humor moment. But I like this where he's like laughing and Tom's like, everyone's doing great except for you, Anne. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We may have to go nude, says Tom.
Goodbye, Tom.
Goodbye.
And I like that Mark and the kid get a juice box, but not Anne.
I know. I think it's so cute. I love it. Oh my gosh. And then we're back at the park and Clarence says, if you're menstruating, you'll attract bears. And I love how Leslie says, holy God.
Yeah.
I think it's so funny.
And then the other, I just whizzed on a butterfly.
So stupid.
That was way more
Why
southern
is he
than I meant
peeing
to
in
make
the
it.
open? There are no trees
Right
to cover him.
behind-
Nothing. There's no bushes.
Yeah.
Nothing.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
He really doesn't.
But this is where David Moser like really says the enemy thing, where he says he used to copy the Eagleton summer catalog letter for the Pawnee one. Like, absolutely not.
Yeah. No, we don't do that. And that's just lazy.
Yeah. Oh, dumbass. But, and I guess, well, maybe to your point, I mean, no one would like care enough to read it to know, maybe. But even if like you did read it, you're not probably reading the Eagleton one if you're a Pawneean. So I don't know.
Yeah, but then if you're just copying, here's my other question though. Now that we know what the catalog is for, if you're reading the Eagleton one, you're reading Eagleton classes, which probably aren't available to you.
Well, just for the welcome letter, like the welcome letter.
Oh, I thought
doesn't...
I thought he copied the whole thing. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I think he was just copying the welcome letter.
Okay.
Which, like, yeah, I mean, it makes sense to do that, I guess, from a cheating standpoint. Because they have their shit together and he does not.
That's fair.
Anyways.
This is such a fancy setup. Did you notice this
Yes!
picnic table?
I loved this.
Yeah, they have the nice long candles. They're not lit, but they have the candles. Breadsticks, those really fancy hard ones. Actual baskets holding their food, like it's not plastic, and
those
legit cups and
were
plates.
So cute.
They really were.
And then what
they
were you
put
saying,
effort
sorry?
into this. Well, the last thing was like legit cups and plates.
Oh,
like
yeah.
they don't look plastic; they look like legit cutlery.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's well put together. I don't know why they didn't light the candles. Maybe it was a studio thing, although they were outside. So I don't know.
Right. Let's start a forest fire.
Yeah, I really liked it. I couldn't tell like if there were already like I couldn't remember when they were setting up. I should have gone back, but I couldn't tell if there was already a table there and they just put the tablecloth over, or did they have to carry tables up? I think there was probably a table already.
Yeah, I would have guessed. I took it when I was watching it that there was already a table there. Now it is kind of in a random ass little spot. Yeah. I feel it's just like in this middle of an open wood, but at the same time, that is kind of reality as well. Because a lot
Yeah.
of times if you're on like hiking trails or like a park or something, it's just like in this random open field where it's not really near the path at all, but it's just there, you know,
Yeah.
which is nice.
That's
It's
accurate. Yeah.
nice. But yeah, I liked the tablescape as well. And technically, Andy and April did it. They're the ones that set it
Yeah.
up, so that's
They
interesting.
really, they did a great job.
Yeah, but Leslie probably bought all the stuff, so it's half and half. Anyway, Michael says he really liked being the parks like director because pencil pushing wasn't his thing, and being in the parks was the best part of his job. And then Ron
Yeah.
reveals that he's on parole because he used to smoke pot in the office and in the parks all the time. And he's like, it was the early 90s.
Yeah.
And not to get wild, but I kind of agree. I think pot should be illegal. I don't think it should be illegal, but I think it should be, you know, and we've talked about this before where I feel like it should be monitored like alcohol. Like you can't drink and drive. You can't be
Yep.
under the influence when you're doing shit, which I honestly, I
Yeah,
feel like
you shouldn't do it
Michael-
at work.
Right, you shouldn't do it
Yeah.
at work, like literally on the job. Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of where I'm like, Michael, you would have been on parole regardless, I feel, if it was legal or not. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably.
But also, I looked up where, so Michael says Thomas Jefferson grew hemp as like this justification that we should have, weed legally. And,
Right.
I looked it up and he did have hemp apparently. Like he grew hemp in his, farm, or, well, we know who was really doing the planting, as Hamilton says.
Amen.
But all his farm books / documents that have been found say it was used for clothing because hemp, like cotton, can be used for clothes. So it doesn't say anything about him smoking it, but I'm sure he did. Who's to say?
Who's to say? Who's to say if they even knew you could smoke it back then?
Right, that's true. Yeah, I don't know when it came into prominence. That's a good deep dive for later.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't hear
Recap.
hippies, says Ron.
Oh.
Okay, now I'm at where Andy and April are having their own little picnic, and
I
April
know,
says
it's so
that she'd do.
cute.
I know. I think it's so cute.
I love
This is
it.
their first little like bonding moment. I feel that's like not at the office. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's still part of work, but it's not at the office, which I think is really interesting.
Mhm.
And April says she'd do the super old guy because of his eyebrows, and it was really nasty. Like she'd chew off his eyebrows.
Yeah,
after making
she's
out
gross.
with him.
Yeah.
But I
She's
like that
disgusting.
Andy doesn't. He just like laughs and says "ew" instead of like, "Oh my god, you're so weird." You know
This
what I
is
mean?
why they work. Yeah, it's why they work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this is when they start taunting each other, and Michael says, like, let's just relax, smoke another J. Oh my
Another?
god. And then like David Moser starts this whole like, yeah, another. And then he starts this whole cursing thing. And I don't know if you heard this, but at the end he says you're a pain in the rectum. I think that's what he says, but I'm not positive.
Oh, I did not
I didn't have
hear
the
that.
subtitles on, but I was like, that's a very specific burn.
Yeah. Yeah, that is.
This is my favorite line coming up that Leslie says, by the way.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well, I have two. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Number one is if you mention anything about women or menstruation or anything, I'm going to take your face and I'm going to shove it in those brambles. That's number one. And number two is get out of your seats, turds.
Yeah. That's good, too.
I literally laughed out loud at that because she says it so, like, quickly, you know?
Yeah. No,
Can we do a
I
funny face
think those are
picture?
great. There's this line where it's Michael, right, that says that he's growing marijuana in the public garden.
Mm-hmm.
He planted them. It was like almost like a callback to when they did the stakeout.
Yeah. Totally.
So I was like, I wonder if it was marijuana and he planted it.
Right.
No, but that and then this line that Clarence says, your little friend come to visit, I wanted to punch him in the face. That was the last time, because I've had somebody say that to me, and I'm like, listen, like that's no excuse for you to act like that. I can't.
Yeah, and look, I'm not saying that we don't act differently when we're on our period, number one. Like, that is true. But number two, I think it's the complete opposite of what people think it is. Let me explain. So, when I'm on my period, I do not take shit from anyone, whereas when I'm on my period, I make so many passes for so many people. So I feel like it's a superpower. I'm just like, you know what? I'm not going to deal with what you're saying right now because it's wrong and I don't believe you and I think that you are stupid. Obviously, I would be more professional if it was in a work setting. But
Right.
like when you're on your period, you don't really have access to those, like, or well, sometimes you do, but we've been
filter.
trained so much to, push down those instincts and those, natural feelings that are smart and dedicated and real and whatnot. So when I'm on my period, I'm like, oh, I finally have like my intuition coming on. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a superpower. So
Yeah.
even though it sucks, I'm not saying it's the best. Ugh, gross.
No.
Okay, all the pictures are of all the pictures of everybody is photoshopped, or not all the pictures, but the one with like the the naked guys.
I love it.
Gross.
Yeah. What is it that April says? Look how generous they're being with each other.
Yes. Yeah, she
Yeah.
says that after she tried to Photoshop it so they'd all be happy, but it was hard because their mouths are so
Mouths
old.
are so old.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And then all these pictures of Mark and Anne on the flip side are blurred out because it's, quote, artsy. And then they get
Right.
showed, quote, the normal ones. And I just think this is such a beautiful way to show that Anne, again, is just not feeling with Mark. Like, I think it's so smart to have this technique, or, well, I don't know if technique's the right word, but this way to show this emotion. Because have you ever looked at yourself in pictures and you're just like, oh, I didn't realize I was feeling or that I looked that way. And
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
I think it's so fascinating. I especially do that with like physical attributes. Like, you know how I think everybody does this when you look at pictures, or a lot of people do it. I'll look at pictures of myself from like a long time ago and I'm like, oh my God, I was so cute. But I remember very specifically at that very time being like, oh, I hate my body. I'm so ugly. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's so wild.
I feel that.
Yeah. But then, oh my gosh, this thing of, I don't know if you caught it, but the camera stays on Mark like a little too long when Anne says, like, let's
Yeah.
go get some dinner. And it just
He's
creates
concerned.
Yeah. It creates this vibe of him not being sure of what's wrong. Is it something deeper? We don't know.
Yeah. But I think it was well done because you kind of get that he's cluing into it.
Mm-hmm. 100%. Now I'm at Leslie talking to Ron, if you are.
And she printed a blank piece of paper.
I know! You know, you could
That's
have
so
just
Leslie.
handed me a piece of paper.
Yep.
Oh my God. And she's replacing the welcome letter with the yearning ad for Dennis Feinstein, which I thought was a really cool foreshadowing moment. Love this. Let me buy you dinner. No, I insist you buy me dinner.
Insist you buy me dinner. I love when she passes him the picture.
Uh-huh.
He says, "Good God, I don't remember this." Like,
I know.
you're not supposed to. This is fake.
I
But
know.
he
That's
just
so
takes it so
funny.
seriously.
He's like really trying to picture what happened or when this happened.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Oh my God. This next scene I call cringy
It's
at the bar.
heartbreaking.
It is so
It's
sad.
So cringy.
It's so
and
cringy.
sad. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
April tries to go in, but she can't because she's 20. And Andy's face is so awkward. April tries to say, like, well, we can go to another bar that does let me in. Like, and Andy says he can't because he has to go clean. Can I tell you, I felt this so deeply in my soul because I hate that excuse. I understand that excuse. Let me tell you, I understand it. Look, I need to clean too. And a clean life is a clean house is a clean life. I get it. But I have had that happen, and that is just the lamest beyond lamest excuse to say that you can't hang out with me. Like, I just don't. I mean, I don't like it. And I think that it's also used. Maybe that's why I don't like it. I think that it's used quite a bit, and especially with Andy, he does not clean. Are you kidding me? You're not cleaning your house. And it's this whole like him with his hands in his pockets, and he's kind of like backing up so awkwardly, and just like he does that little like cringy like teeth emoji face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think he played this so perfectly. I loved his performance.
I
in
agree.
this.
I agree. And I think this is our first sign where, at least myself, I'm reading it as he had feelings for her. Because if you're just friends with somebody and they're 20 and they can't get into the bar, I don't think you're that bothered by it.
I agree. And they would be like, yeah, we can go to another bar, or like, let's go get dinner, or like
Right.
something else. I think that's a good point.
But I think he's realizing, oh crap, I'm really like a girl who's too young for me. And it's like he needs to check himself and take himself out of the situation.
Yeah. I think that I agree.
Unfortunately.
I know. Ugh. And then, okay, so now we're at the diner. We're at JJ's, which is so amazing. FYI, this is the first time that we see the interior change. So the first time we saw JJ's was in The Reporter with Shauna Malwae-Tweep, and it was a different interior, like different tables. We talked about that. But it was the same exterior, but now we've changed it. Friendly reminder that the exterior is actually in Atlanta, and the interior is at this restaurant called 4 and 20. And I remember very specifically we said that they were struggling. They closed.
Oh, no.
They're permanently closed forever now, and it's very sad.
Sucks.
It was because of COVID, I think.
Yeah, it's got to be. That was
So
a
pour
hard
one
time
out
for many.
What's that?
That was a hard time for many.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Small businesses, especially, and in LA. I mean, my God. But, yeah, so pour one out for Clarence and 4 and 20. We shall have a vigil for you.
Yes.
But then this is our first introduction to Marta, the waiter, or the waitress, Marta. And she comes back one more time when Jen Barkley buys JJ's an espresso machine. Her name is Anna Ray. Her team was the sweetest team I've ever come into contact with. Like, when I've contacted people, they were so nice and they were so excited. They were like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Like, I can't believe, and her manager was like, we have a couple people that have been on Parks. And I was like, okay, well, I'll be reaching out. And she sent me like a bunch of emojis and like, yay, that's great. And I was like, ah. And Anna was the precious darling ever. And I am going to play her voice clip for you right now. We have
Yay.
Marta on the show.
So my audition for Parks and Rec was memorable only in that it was for Parks and Rec. And otherwise it was really fairly typical. I'm from LA. I've been driving in LA since I was 18, so I'm usually pretty good at calculating commute times. But I really remember that the traffic was awful that day, and I barely got there on time. I couldn't find parking. I had to walk like a quarter mile to the office. I finally get upstairs to Dorian Frankel's office, and I did have a few moments to kind of catch my breath and regroup when I was called in. And I had auditioned for Dorian before, so luckily it was a friendly room. That really helped. And I think my lines were kind of, I can't remember them exactly, but it was along the lines of, what can I get you? And coming right up. Really basic, not an award-winning speech or anything. So you just go in there and you with those parts, you just kind of go in there and get it done. I remember Dorian giving me a little bit, of direction in that, make it a slightly warmer, a little bit more friendly. These are your regular customers. You know them, you know their orders, you see them on all the time. So I gave her a second reading and I was on my way. Then when I got the call saying that I booked it, I was kind of surprised. I was like, okay, great, and really excited. And the day of filming did not disappoint. I was really excited to be there, and everybody was just so nice. Of course, Amy Poehler just greets me with, her beautiful, bright smile and says, thank you hi, thank you so much for joining us, as if I would say no, right? But she was very friendly, but she's also the producer of the show. So she was often taken away to do her job as a producer. So I ended up chatting more with Nick Offerman, who was so lovely to chat with. There was the average chat of like what TV shows you're watching, that kind of thing. But I really remember that at the time, his amazingly talented and beautiful wife, Megan Lally, had just finished with Will and Grace. And she was doing a very successful cabaret tour of Europe at the time. And he was just beaming with pride. Just told me all about what a great tour she was having, showed me a couple of pictures of where she had been and what she was doing. And he was just glowing when he spoke about her. And I just remember being so moved by that. That was so sweet and just so nice. And it was so kind of him to share that with me. And I think he was talking with maybe one of the, crew members as well. And, he didn't have to do that, and it was lovely to be able to just get to know him a little and chat, and he was a really great guy. I also got to work with the director Ken Whittingham, who I ended up working with afterwards on another project, and he was also really friendly, really generous, so nice about setting a tone where I can feel relaxed. And I remember him taking me aside and saying, I know you're only here for the evening, and you just have a couple of lines. So if you just want to add in a word here and there to kind of give it that friendlier, warmer kind of atmosphere, that's fine with me. And that's very generous for a director to do for someone with just, 2 lines. So that was a really great, it was really great to meet him and to work with him on that show. And I do remember my costume a lot because I do play a lot of uniformed people, basically, housekeepers, waitresses, nurses, that kind of thing.
I asked her specifically about her costume, by the way, so this is why she's going into this detail, because I was like, that is such a cute little JJ Diner outfit. Yeah. So that's what she has to say about this. Okay.
Nice.
And usually the colors are not that remarkable about those costumes because you're really there to kind of provide atmosphere, to provide context for the scene. You're not really there to pull focus away from the leads or anything. So when I had such a cute, bright outfit, I remember just being so happy and surprised by that costume choice that it was fun to wear. It was fun to have that on while I was on the set. And a funny thing I think about that episode that made it fun was that at the time, there's a connection to another show that I was a part of called Californication. I played Irma, who was a housekeeper to Stu Beggs, that was played by the wonderful Stephen Tobolowsky. And I ended up filming a scene with Rob Lowe that I ended up getting cut out of, but I was there and I got to film and meet Rob Lowe, who at the time was a series regular on Parks and Recreation, which I thought was pretty funny. I didn't get to see him or talk to him, but I just thought that was a pretty funny connection. And then a few years later, I end up reprising my role as Irma on a show that was set in the same universe as Californication called White Famous that starred Jay Farrow from Saturday Night Live. And I ended up working again with Ken Whittingham, which was just such a nice surprise. And I reminded him, hey, we worked on Parks and Rec. And I just thought that was such a funny connection that, there's a funny connection between that episode of Parks and Rec and amazingly Californication, which is also a very funny show, but very different, very different in tone. So there you go. That was my experience, and thanks so much for calling me in to give my experience. It was again just so wonderful and such an honor to be even a small part of such a great, memorable show. Thanks so much. Bye.
Oh, she's so precious.
She really is. That was awesome.
That was so cool. Oh my gosh.
I love Jay
Anna,
Farrow.
thank you so much for that. Oh my gosh, we love it. I loved hearing all about the connections of everything. I had no idea.
Small world.
Yeah, totally. And the whole, oh my gosh, the whole parking in LA thing. What a mess. I cannot with that. Like, I always say that, like, not only do you have to budget for, like say you're going to the movies or wherever, you have to budget for that, for, like, paying for parking, but you also have to budget time. Like, if the movie starts at 5:50, you should probably get there, like, 20 minutes early just in case.
Right.
And then for auditions, I always, like, I used to, I don't do it now, obviously, because self-tapes, but for auditions, I used to, like, pillow, or what's the word, give myself a little bit of a blanket
cushion
space of, like, 3 like an hour there, like cushion. That's the word. Yeah, pillow. Oh my God. But yeah, I used to give myself like an hour to get there, just in case, even if it only took like 15 minutes. I was like, who's to say? You know? But yeah, she did a great job. And not only did she reprise that role in Californication, but like I said, or did I say this already, where she reprises her role as Marta when Jen Barkley comes back, because she and Jen Barkley buys the espresso machine, and like Jen Barkley knows her name and is like, thanks, Marta, as if she's been there all along.
Right.
So I'll
Which
definitely
pisses Leslie off.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll definitely reach back out to her when we get to that episode. She's so cute, and I just really was very what's the word? I just loved her team, and I just was very, very appreciative of her and her team being so nice. So thank you to them.
Awesome.
Yeah, we learned a lot in that little moment. Okay. So where were we at? Okay, so now we're at this at the diner again. Oh, side note, she's also been in an episode of Scrubs and Jane the Virgin, so I thought that was interesting. She's done a ton of stuff. She was also in Cry Macho, which is a Clint Eastwood movie, but we love her. And then Leslie says she made love to the pooch instead of screwed the pooch.
Yeah. Which sounds worse.
I think it does too. It doesn't make sense because
Yeah.
I should have looked up. Maybe that's what I'll do for a deep dive. I should have looked up where that term originated or how, like, when. That happened.
That'd be interesting.
But this moment kind of made me stop in my tracks, honestly. Like, it was so beautiful and deep, and they're really talking about the tough stuff. Like, when she's asking, are we going to turn out like that? Like, are you going to be someone that I hate and don't want? Like, this whole mentor-friend moment here is, like, amazing, because she's also, not only is she asking about her future, but she's thinking about her whole life decision and her whole goals and everything that her like personality and career has like stood on for so long. And to see these people in the future, it's almost like, is this foreshadowing for what I'm going to turn into? And that is a very heavy existential moment that I think a lot of times people go through when they're thinking about their career and further on. But especially to see it so blatantly shown to you, like, these are the bitches that had like what I have, you know what I mean? Right. But that doesn't mean that it can't change, you know, that you're not the exception to the rule, or that you, I think that the ending part is really nice too. Yeah. When she's like, you know, I expect all these debates, especially from Ron, kind of thing.
Yeah, and he says the same thing about her.
Yes, the total opposite, but the same at the same time. But oh my God, I was like really shocked by she even floating the idea of even moving to Eagleton. Like, just that idea. I was like, no.
Well, yeah. I don't think they've fully fledged out the idea of hating.
No, I do not think that has come yet. Because she says Eagleton very casually, especially in the like first season, and now she's saying it like with a little disdain, but not as much pure hatred as she has later.
Right.
So it definitely is a gradual incline. Also, I was mad at Ron for saying this. I know this is who he is, but when he says like, well, when I become the city manager, I'm going to, eliminate the parks department. And I'm just like, bitch, that job is what has given you friendship and money and everything.
Yeah, you're like, gonna fire all your friends, basically.
So mad at him.
Yeah, not about it.
But anyway, then Leslie has this whole thing where she says she might leapfrog over Ron's job, and that the one common, thing, though, that they both have, like we just said, is that they each expect a fight from each other. But there is a mutual respect, which I think is the beautiful part.
100%.
But this next meme or moment is like a popular meme or like popular GIF thing where she says, why does anyone eat anything but breakfast
other
food?
than breakfast food?
People are idiots, Leslie. It's so cute. Love it.
Yeah. It's their common ground.
The waffle, or she has the waffle. He has the bacon. I love it so much.
Yeah, that's good. The next thing I have is the summer catalogs are arriving.
Yeah. Jerry brings them in, and we see that April and Andy are on the cover. Oh, my God. It's so heartwarming.
I love the way they reveal it.
Me too.
Because you're like not sure what's going to be on there.
Yeah.
100%. It's beautiful.
And I love that little montage of like everyone individually reading it. I think it's great.
Yeah. Andy's face. He's like smiling.
Yeah. He like is just looking at it with his little hand in his head, and it's just very precious at the shoe shine stand. It's very cute. And even April is just like kind of, shrugging, not shrugging. She's just like kind of hiding in her little corner reading it. It's so cute.
Yeah.
And
Anne doesn't like it.
I know. Anne's like, She has like a weird kind of like smile though at the same time.
Yeah.
But no, I feel you. It's really funny because I don't feel like anyone's actually reading the welcome letter. They're all just staring at the cover.
Yeah. Right.
What was interesting to me, though, and you found a really great website, too. I was trying to look for the summer catalog, and I could not find it anywhere because on Wikipedia it said that at the time NBC made the actual summer catalog. Like, they made one and put it online for people to download as PDFs. And I found it, and I have, oh my gosh, I'll have to send you the link. Or maybe, I don't think I did. But there's the picture of all of the parks directors. There is a caption underneath that, like, explains things. There's like legitimate descriptions of each summer class, and you sent me the one that I hadn't seen where there's pictures, like stock pictures that they must have taken of like a girl holding like all these books and like the girl and the guy together because it's classes and whatever. It's really interesting and cool.
It's a lot of effort to put in.
Totally.
I'm glad they did.
Yeah, and then something I found online was that the map of Pawnee within the catalog is based on a map of Central Christchurch in New Zealand. That's random. I don't know why they chose that, but just in case anyone was curious. So now I'm at where she is thinking about her letter and talking about her letter, and she's writing that the Parks Department taught her a really valuable lesson, that there's nothing more important than friendship.
Pigeons in the background.
Thank you, Maddie. I didn't even put that down in that area. I'm sure I saw them at the time, but I was like...
Yeah, they're on like a box or something. Way in the back.
Yeah. Good looking out. Did you clock her little bow / like clip thing that she has in her hair?
I did not.
Oh my God, I'll send you a picture. I took a picture of it because I think it's really cute. It's a little clip and it's kind of like glass metal and it's like pink kind of color. I thought it was really precious. I wonder if she picked that out.
She could have.
Yeah.
That'd be cute.
Yeah. She picks out her pins, according to an interview that she has on her lapel. So, yeah. But now I'm at the tag if you are.
I am. And we're throwing darts at a picture. Well, we don't know it's a picture until the camera slides over and it's the picture of everybody at the picnic.
Yeah, all the old department heads. And I think it's really funny, too, that they're talking so casually while they're doing this. And they're Ron's talking about, like, where Michael used to smoke, like, right there in that office. And, like, how clever he was of the different things that he used to smoke pot through, like a garden hose or something like this, he said. And Ron gets a dart, and they that line of right in Clarence's ancient junk. And then I'd love to know how they cut this together. I'm guessing it's just an obvious, like, they cut away to them not throwing it, and then you just see the dart kind of thing, like, fly.
Yeah.
Because they had to, I wonder how many takes they had to get to do this. But I love the last line of, oh, in the neck. And it just immediately cuts off.
Yeah, it's very well done. Very well timed and everything.
Yeah. Well, that's mine. I'm done with my notes. Are you good? Or you have anything else on this?
No, I'm good.
Yay! So that was Summer Catalog with no UE.
No UE.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm so excited for our next couple episodes. I mean, we're getting really close to the end here of season 2.
We're about to lose Paul. But gain Rob and Adam.
Yes. We have some big changes coming up.
We do.
And it's going to be pretty heavy. So, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, please, if you have not yet, please review us on Apple Podcasts because I would really love to hear feedback. As I mentioned, I don't always know, and Maddie and I don't always know what exactly or who exactly is listening. So I would just love to, have some tangible, like, feedback and also just talk to you guys.
Yeah.
So if you can, leave a review, only 5 stars, please, and let us know if there's anything else that you guys are doing. I almost posted it on the Park Pals Instagram, but I figured I wouldn't. But I thought it would be an interesting thing, like, if anybody goes to any parks, I went to Burgess Falls here in Tennessee. It's like an hour and a half away from Nashville. It's this huge, beautiful waterfall, and it's a state park here. And so if anyone has any state park recommendations in any state, really, tag us, because I would love to know where you are and how your life is revolving / just having parks, you know?
Yeah.
So
That's nice.
anyway, okay. Well, thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you next week. And we hope that you have a lovely, restful, accomplished week ahead. And hang in there, guys. Just hang in there. I know it's tough. We got a lot of shit going on. You guys got this. This is a fucking rough time, and we're rooting for you. That's all we have to say. So just keep going. Keep hanging in there. And if you need to take a day off, take a day off. Do what you need to do, girl. But
Exactly.
or guy, or non-conforming person.
Yes.
We love you, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
There's a park and some pals, and there's also therapy too.